Good morning, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Taylor Stephenson with 13 News Now. I'm streaming this morning because we have a chance for some showers this morning, and then later on today we'll have some thunderstorms coming through that could pack a little bit of a punch, especially as we get into this evening where we can see some heavy downpours, gusty winds, frequent lightning. And according to the Weather Service, we can't rule out a little bit of hail, even though that risk does remain low. But we are tracking showers and thunderstorms in two different patches or batches today, one during the late morning, and then the other one as we get into the evening and overnight tonight. So let's get into what we're seeing, what we've seen so far, because remember, last night we had some showers as well, and we saw some of that rainfall starting to pick up across parts of the south side, but it's all part of the same cold front that is about to roll through our area. I'll also talk about what that cold front will do as it moves through Hampton Roads for your Saturday night into your Sunday. That will give us clear skies for your second half of your weekend. So let's get into it this morning. Thank you for everyone joining me today. We are tracking those showers and thunderstorms across the area on your Saturday. Right now, we are talking this cold front. This cold front is going to be the big driver of our weather system as we get into the whole weekend, honestly, because on the front side of this front, we have the warm, moist air that's bringing us widespread showers from all the way up into Maine, down through the Carolinas. And then behind that, we're talking cooler, drier air. So we're going to see temperatures plummet by about 10 degrees between this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, but we'll see so much clear sky. So looking at behind that front first, I want to show you what we are anticipating before we get into what we're talking about for today. Behind that front, notice how there is a huge lack in moisture anywhere from Memphis through Cincinnati, up through Chicago, St. Louis. We are seeing some cloud cover, so it's not bright blue skies, but it is much drier compared to all of this moisture being pulled in from the southwest along the East Coast. I mean, this goes all the way up into Maine and even Canada, just in Quebec, Quebec City, Montreal, all the way up there down to through Boston, New York City, and into Jersey, where we have seen an active wildfire going on. That wildfire actually provided us with smoke here in Hampton Roads throughout parts of our work week, this past work week. But this rain will help to firefighters to try to contain that wildfire. As of Friday night, it was about 60% contained. There are some ongoing showers in the DMV. So for Washington, Washington, D.C., we are seeing some showers just in the outskirts of the city into Waldorf, down into Bowling Green, Virginia, Richmond, we're seeing some rain. And we're anticipating that rain to come here through Hampton Roads. Now, again, this is a part of this cold front, right? Right now, we are seeing some breaks in the clouds, so we are seeing some blue skies this morning, but we're anticipating that rain to really come our direction. The rain that you're seeing right now that is tracking through Richmond and then going into Hampton Roads, that will be the rain that we are going to see in our area this morning, but then we're going to see some showers and thunderstorms tracking on later tonight. Now, as you can tell with these showers that are near Richmond, they're pretty light in nature. I'm not even seeing any pockets of moderate rainfall at this point. We're seeing some light to potentially, I guess you could say, heavy light rain that's going on right here on the northwest side of the city. But the further south you go, the more isolated these showers become around the I-85 corridor. Taking a look on the North Carolina side of things, again, very isolated when it comes to those showers that will eventually make it our way over the next hour or so. That will bring us some isolated showers. But again, the peninsulas are going to be the bullseye for some of that rainfall. That'll be the most widespread. Otherwise, we're just going to talk some isolated showers this morning. But the bulk of the rain, which becomes widespread again, happens after about 6 p.m. today. So taking you through and making sure you can see clearly on our radar, you can see that there's no rain coming down anywhere from Chincoteague through Exmoor down to Townsend. As we get into the Middle Peninsula, Moon, Gloucester, Achilles, Matthews, you're all fine. On the peninsula, Williamsburg, Newport News, Pocosin, Hampton, Nothing going on. Same with the south side. On the western south side, Surrey, Rushmere, Franklin, down into Boykins, we're not seeing anything. Suffolk, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, you guys are fine as well. And again, same thing goes for Northeast North Carolina, Elizabeth City, Killville Hills, Poplar Branch, Eatonton, Mo, Yakahaski, not seeing anything. Rodanthe, Avon, and Buxton, also not seeing any rainfall at this point. But again, that will change as we get into the next hour or so for some of that rainfall around the peninsulas. And later on today, where we will have some of that opportunity to see some of that heavier rainfall coming through with those storms. So right now, here's what we're talking about for today in terms of our severe thunderstorm threat. This is a very low end threat for severe weather. A level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather today, mainly as you get anywhere along the I-85 corridor, I-95 corridor, and east. But this includes the entire viewing area. And with this severe thunderstorm threat, we're mainly just talking gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour. Hail cannot be ruled out, but I think it's going to be very, very low, hard to come by. And even if it does hail, a lot of times here, we don't get that huge hail that they get out into parts of the Great Plains. And a lot of times the hail we do see, the very pea-sized hail we do get, starts to melt on contact as it hits the ground, because ground temperatures today will be easily into the 70s, if not the 80s. So when you have ice hitting the ground when it's 80 degrees, that ice melts very quickly, especially when you have pea-sized hail. So again, winds being our main threat, and I'll go through the confidence meter again. Confidence meter shows that we do have that low to possible medium threat of gusty winds. Hail will be on the low end. Tornadoes, they're not a threat today. And then flooding. This could happen if we do have some places that are susceptible to flooding, meaning they have poor drainage. And so if we do have those heavier downpours over certain areas, we may see some isolated flooding, but even that potential is low. So this is not the most significant weather system we've seen at all, but it is something that will disrupt your early afternoon and into your evening and late night plans today for your Saturday. So let's walk you through the rest of your day for your Saturday so you can kind of see how this plays out. So on Saturday, this is around 10 a.m. where we are now. As we make it through about 11:45 noon, that's when that rain that I just tracked just west of Richmond heads our direction, going into parts of Virginia mainly, and again, some isolated showers in places like Northeast North Carolina. That's around noon. By 2 to 3 p.m., that chunk of rain is out. So that's round 1 of 2. We could have some isolated showers across our area on Saturday afternoon, but they look few and far between. But I want you to notice, look right in this area. Notice how this model, which is our graph, which is our in-house model, shows that there are some breaks in the clouds. So we could see some sunshine peeking through for very brief, partly sunny to partly cloudy conditions. But it seems like a lot of that cloud cover is still hanging on to parts of our eastern viewing area, Virginia Beach, Elizabeth City, Eatonton, Killville Hills. So you may see some sunshine the further west you live before we get to our next round of rain and storms. And that's going to come from the north to south instead of west to east. So peninsulas, you will get the rain first. This rain comes down starting around 6 to 6:30. And it's going to last for you until we get to about 9 p.m. Once we get to 9 p.m., this goes to the south side. So south side, you're talking a time frame of about 8:30 to 11 p.m. tonight, as you see heavy storms still coming through. Now, I will say these storms, as I back it up just a little bit, you can see how they're stronger and more defined around the peninsulas, and this is why. So storms like solar energy, so heat. When you have storms rolling through during the peak heat of the day, which is usually around this time in late April, is around 4 to 5 p.m. So the timing of storms, especially when it comes to the severe weather season, is super important. Because these storms are coming through around 7 p.m., it's going to tap into that energy around the peninsulas. But as we get deeper into the nighttime, so past sunset, that energy starts to really wane as there's no more sunlight to tap into, and all these storms have is just the heat from the earth, but the earth is continuing to cool off as we go through the night. So it's stronger around 7 p.m., and then you can kind of see it breaking apart a little bit, becoming a little bit more disorganized by about 10 p.m. But that's for parts of the south side. South side, again, your time frames between about 8:30 to about 11 p.m. tonight. As we get into 11, that's where you have the last lingering showers around the south side, and then we get into northeast North Carolina. That's when the heaviest rain comes through, between 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. tonight into early tomorrow morning. Temperatures behind this front will really start to plummet. So you can already see in places like Tappahannock, Chincoteague, and Melfa, West Point, Richmond, lower 60s already, where we're going to be about 10 degrees warmer than that in places around Elizabeth City, Eatonton, Kildover Hills. And that cooler air will really start to rush in. But notice how dry it becomes by about 2 to 2:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. We see very clear skies, so the cloud cover immediately goes with those storms as they pull away. Temperatures overnight will fall to the middle 50s to lower 60s, and then everybody will start to wake up in the 40s and 50s. So it could be a little chilly on the northern neck and middle peninsula as we get into early Sunday morning. Now, overall, how much rain could we pick up? Well, we could pick up anywhere from half an inch of rainfall, maybe even less than that, a quarter of an inch of rainfall, up to maybe an inch. It really depends on where those heaviest downpours set up. It also depends on where the morning rain lines up, right? So if we have more morning rain on the peninsulas and then we add on a little bit more rain later on today from those storms, those totals will be much higher than places in North Carolina where the morning rain is going to be a little bit more isolated, but we could have some more widespread storms during the evening time and later tonight. So just something to keep in mind. Now, let's take a look at our drought monitor. It gets updated every Thursday, and any rain we can honestly get in North Carolina will be very beneficial. We're now underneath a severe drought in Eatonton and just south of Elizabeth City around the Albemarle. So any rain that comes through we are grateful for it, but we do not want that risk for thunderstorms that may become severe later on today. But again, that risk does remain low. So here's a look at the weekend forecast. And it shows that we do have that morning rain that's about to come through in the next hour or so. And then we have evening storms that could become marginally severe. Marginally meaning obviously low end. But those storms that could become strong to severe could produce wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour, maybe some small hail, some lightning, and then heavy rainfall. Tomorrow, behind that front, look at that. It's just going to be a picturesque day, but it will be breezy. I will say today is also breezy. So today we'll have wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow we'll do it all over again. We'll have wind gusts as high as about 30 miles per hour. Mostly sunny though, and tomorrow will be just your run-of-the-mill late April day. Temperatures in the lower 50s to start the morning, and then temperatures by the afternoon in the lower to middle 70s. It should be a beautiful day. So I definitely encourage you to get out and about tomorrow as that drier weather really packs in. So here's a live look, and I'll go back a little bit. You can already see people enjoying this because look how nice the conditions are in Virginia Beach right now. People are out and about enjoying this really warm weather we're seeing. But for tomorrow, we are going to see temperatures in the middle 50s all the way up to the lower 70s by about 4 p.m., where our high temperature today will occur around noon this afternoon. So from the Thompson Creek Window Company Skyview, you can tell people are enjoying the beach day today. It just won't be as great of a beach day tomorrow, as conditions will be much cooler. And as anyone who lives in Hampton Roads knows, like if you're by the beach, it is significantly cooler because a lot of times we do have that onshore flow that really pumps in those cooler temperatures around the area. So giving you a look again at what we're expecting, Well, right now we're at a nice, comfortable temperature. Already in the lower to middle 60s area wide, some lower to middle 70s area wide with some upper 70s mixed in. 77 now in Norfolk, 76 in Virginia Beach, 73 in Matthews, 71 in Wachapreague, 73 this morning in Kildare Hills. So already a very warm start after we started in the upper 50s and lower 60s. But again, we are watching for this shower and thunderstorm threat along this cold front draped through the Great Lakes all the way through the Mid-South and down into parts of the Southern Plains, causing rain all the way back into Oklahoma. But here we are here around the East Coast, and again, we're watching for this rain that's about to come through now in a very isolated form for a lot of us, but it's this rain that we're watching for round one. Some showers this morning, and then round two comes after 6 p.m. starting in the peninsulas and then heads due south. So the further north you live, the earlier those storms will get there, but the earlier they'll leave. We're talking a time frame for the storms starting in the peninsulas around 6:30 p.m., exiting northeast North Carolina by 2 a.m. So it may be a little bit slow moving, but and heavy rainfall at times, but again, we do need it, especially in places like northeast North Carolina, where we do have a severe drought going on around the Albemarle. Your 5 to 7 day forecast shows that we'll have temperatures falling continuously through Monday, where highs will be just slightly below normal in the lower 70s, but sunshine continues. On Tuesday, we bring back those south winds, and that brings back a really warm air mass. So temperatures on Tuesday afternoon will climb back to the lower 80s, and then we get scattered showers and a couple thunderstorms possible on Wednesday, where highs will climb back into the middle 80s, and isolated showers continue around our next system from Wednesday through the end of the work week, but temperatures remaining warm about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of year. So it will be a warm end to the day. But again, the whole reason that we are talking today and we're walking through this together is because we are watching for the showers and thunderstorms that will be coming today. Again, round one comes in the next hour or so. Isolated showers, especially for the peninsulas, a little bit less likely as you head further south through parts of the south side and northeast North Carolina, and then storms come later, rolling from north to south, peninsulas first, northeast North Carolina last, and that starts around 6 p.m. for the peninsulas, exits our area by 1 to 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. So make sure you keep to the forecast, because I know it's a Saturday, I know it's a weekend, and we all want to be out and about, especially because temperatures are so warm, but we want to make sure when thunder roars, you head indoors and you stay safe when we do have this potentially inclement weather coming through that could impact your day. Again, I'm meteorologist Taylor Stephenson. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll be back later on this evening with meteorologist Hunter Force, who will walk you through the storm timeline once again so that you can know how your day will be impacted by the weather. Have a great rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow.